Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, she dropped hints in hindsight. Well, I've got an email here from a guy who has been great at dating women, picking them up, but he usually can't get very far. After 2 or 3 months, he usually ends up getting dumped or put in a friend zone. And what's interesting is that you'll see in his email, he stopped doing what made him successful, what caused his girlfriend to fall in love with him. And he went through a period of time, he started focusing on his career in the military, thinking, well, I'm going to focus on this for a while. It's like he made the mistake that a lot of guys make, which is the courtship never ends. And so once he stopped dating and courting his girlfriend properly, you can see how quickly things went sideways. So I've got a quote that I wrote, and then we'll go through his email. The quote says, most men who struggle in their long-term relationships do so because they make the mistake of thinking that the courtship is over and that they can focus on their careers, being a money mule and provider, instead of dating and courting their women properly. Women know that when men love and care about them, that they perpetually show it through their actions more than their words. Men who don't know any better don't take their women seriously when they say they are unhappy and don't spend enough time together like they used to. These same men are then surprised when their women leave them and say they did not see it coming. If I had $1 for every time I heard from a guy, I didn't see it coming. It's pretty obvious. You'll see the signs. He says, hi, Corey. I'm writing this from Germany after I've been reading your book for the past 3 days. You got it all figured out, and many questions I had regarding my past relationships with women were answered due to your book and videos. You are the best. Well, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for everything. You've certainly made my life better and made me a better man. I tend to do pretty well with most women when it came to dating, even before I read your book. I instinctively created fun and romance-filled opportunities for sex to happen, and more or less always had my short-lived success with girls. That's his problem, short-lived success. I am good-looking, charming, and driven by a purpose in life while being able to make many people laugh and smile with me when it comes to interaction. Early this year, I met this one girl, a coworker, whom I instantly took a liking to. I joked around with her for a while before asking her out on a date on the spot when I noticed that she seemed quite interested in me. From there, things went through the roof with her. We fell in love so quickly that it almost seemed surreal to me. She wasn't my type, but it still worked out, and we seemed to have this close connection within minutes. It's nice when that happens. It's rare, but it's beautiful. But you got to prepare for when it happens, because if you're not, just like Confucius said, success depends upon prior preparation. Without said preparation, there's sure to be failure. It was a great romance, and during the first 3 months or so, I tended to be quite busy working in politics as an officer cadet in the military. Thank you for your service, by the way. So we didn't see each other as much as we would have liked. Within 4 months, she was talking about having children, building a future together, and she could not get enough of me. So far, everything sounds great. It's a little fairy tale romance. It's what they sell you in the movies, right? She even remarked that she would have liked to hear "I love you" from me since I had not told her that yet. Being confronted with her chasing me so hard and wanting to settle down, I grew comfortable with her and stopped dating her. That is definitely the problem, which I knew was a mistake, but she seemed so in love that I thought I could focus on my very important work with the Army and on improving my career for a short while. But within a few weeks after her saying that, she all of a sudden grew distant, and I instantly noticed her body language had changed. So you see the problem. Stopped focused on, he just quit dating her properly. He's like, oh, well, she's happy, she's in love, she wants to have my babies. It's like, score! I got a goal! I won! The courtship never ends. Because when you stop dating and courting a woman, it communicates to her through your actions that you don't care about her anymore. Bad way to go, dude. She went to a festival in our last month together, only to return totally changed and saying that she loved hanging out, partying all day and night, and how I could never understand that. since I behaved quite bitchy about her being so different all of a sudden. So you obviously didn't know what to do, and you figure you would use logic and reason to talk her into being the way she was. She broke up with me shortly after, saying that she could not imagine a future with me anymore and needed time and space to fulfill herself. Remember, just a few months before, I want to have your babies. We're going to live happily ever after. Now it's like, I got to work on myself. I need space. Her interest in me seemed to have dropped from a 9 to a 4 or lower in a few weeks. Which was it? Well, you stopped doing what made you successful. It doesn't matter whether you've been together for 6 months or 6 years or 20 years. The bottom line is what you do to get a woman to fall in love with you is what you do to keep her in love with you. And if you want to be in a long-term relationship, the courtship always is perpetual. This is how you show that you care and she's important to you. When you start neglecting her and treating her like, oh, it's just another car in the garage or another toy in your toy box that you're bored of, again, the purpose is to hang out, to have fun, and hook up. And it sounds like all the fun stops. So when the fun stops, it's like, what's the point of being together anymore? It doesn't matter how much you say I love you and how important you are to me. If you're not showing it through your actions, you might as well be talking to a lampshade. You'll have a more productive conversation. Was I needy, or was it because I stopped romancing her for a few weeks? Well, I would say it was a combination of both, because you admitted that you started acting needy and bitchy. It's like the veil wore off. I do see the hints that she dropped in hindsight. Thanks for replying so far. You're great. Even if you don't reply, still great. He says, sum cuque, I don't know if I pronounced that right, to each his own, as we say in our unit. So, like I said, you haven't really said whether you're in contact with her or not, but if she does reach out, you got to get back to dating and courting her properly. And you don't go right back into the relationship. You've got to take it from the perspective of that you're starting the courtship over and starting to see her like for the first time all over again. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And I will talk to you soon.